What's going on, guys? Today in this video I'm going to be installing an Auxbeam 22-inch light bar on my 2022 Polaris General 1000 right here. They sent this out to me to review and test it. So we're going to get this thing installed, we're going to test it. We're going to do a lot of tests at nighttime, guys. I'm really interested to see if this thing will light up my trails at my house. And guys, I make too long a video, so I'm going to get right into everything. We're going to make it as simple as possible. So let's get right into it. Alright guys, I got the package unboxed. That's how it comes packaged right there. It looks like UPS kicked it a few times, but it is what it is. What comes in the box is the hardware, the manual, the brackets, the light bar itself, the wiring harness, and the sticker. So that's what comes in the box. So let's go ahead and start getting the brackets assembled on the light bar, and then we can mount it to the machine. Alright guys, on the right hand side of the light bar, we're going to grab this bracket right here. We're going to grab 2 bolts. It comes with a washer and a crush washer. And we're going to install this bracket right here. They go into these threads right here. I'm going to get this one started. And then this other one goes in that thread right there. We're not going to completely tighten these down because this is your adjuster. So we're just going to get them hand tight for now. The hardware does come with an Allen wrench. Remember, we're just going to get these hand tight for now. Just like that. Beautiful. Let's do the other side. Alright guys, I'm going to install the bracket on the other side of the light bar. It's the same thing as the other side. 2 bolts going into the light bar. Don't forget your washer and your crush washer. And remember to hand tighten these only for now. We'll tighten them permanently once it's mounted to the machine. Alright, just like that, this light bar is about ready to install. We're going to have to get on top of the roof of the side-by-side and drill some holes. That way we can actually mount it to the roof. So that's what we're going to do next. I'm going to go get some measurements, and then we'll be able to install that. I did the measurements, and I know where I'm going to mount this thing now. I got it all marked up. I do need to drill a hole on both sides for the bolts to go through. So that's what I'm going to do now. But you can see on both sides I have that marked up. So I know exactly where to mount it. So that's perfect. So I'm going to go get a drill bit, and we're going to start drilling some holes. And also I have to drill a hole for the wiring to go down. So I have to figure out where I'm going to do that. But I think I'm going to do it in the middle right here. And then I'll have to weatherproof that. But we'll do that later. So let's go ahead and drill some holes. Alright guys, I got my drill and my drill bit here. So actually I kind of want to punch that with a punch. That might help me get started real quick. I'll put a center punch on that. We'll see if this big drill bit will get right to it or if I have to use a smaller drill bit first. Pretty easy. Make sure that's good. Oh, that's beautiful in there. I'll show you guys that with some light here in a minute. Perfect. We'll set that aside for now. Make sure the bolt goes right through perfectly. Oh no. I could thread it. So hold on, let me make that a little bit bigger. That'll do it. There we go. Beautiful. We'll remove these shavings, throw them away. And we'll do the other side, guys. I'm on the other side right here, so let's go ahead get this drilled out like the other side. Do-do-do. Beautiful. Set that down for a second. We'll make sure that bolt fits in there nicely. Yep. Beautiful. Let's throw these shavings away. So now we can test fit this thing up here, make sure it's straight and aligned perfectly. So let's do that real quick. I went ahead and slapped the light bar up here and put the bolts through the holes. Everything lines up perfectly. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this film. Oh yeah, that looks awesome. Looks awesome. may upgrade to a bigger light bar if Auxbeam ever wants to send me a bigger one for up there, and I might move that one down here. But this will do for now. It looks good up there, should be plenty bright. And the reason why I told you guys not to tighten the brackets in the first place is because this allows, let me move this out of the way first. That way you can adjust it up and down. So I'm gonna leave it loose for now, and then we'll test it, and we'll see what the best positioning for that is later. But that looks really good for now. So now I can get inside the cab and we can put the washers and nuts on the bottom of that, and then that'll be fully mounted. Looks really cool. I'm in the cab here. There's the bolt sticking through. We're gonna use a washer, a crush washer, and a nut to secure that in. So I can't really do this one-handed, so give me a second here. There's the nut and the washers. I don't think I need to explain to you guys how to tighten a nut and a bolt, so I'm gonna do that off camera. But as I'm tightening these, I'm gonna make sure my marks are still lined up perfectly, and then after that's tightened up, we'll start doing the wiring, guys. I also need to drill a hole for this wiring harness to go through. I guess I have to cut it that wide, so I have a special bit on. More for wood, but it's gonna work for what we need it for. So I'm gonna do that about 4 or 5 inches from this mount on this side. I know it's super dark for you guys, so I'm gonna try to light you up if I can. I'm going to drill that hole about right here. It's just gonna have to be dark for you guys because I don't have a way of holding a light as I do this. Alright guys, I'm gonna have to do this off camera. I need both hands, so let me do this off camera real quick and I'll show you guys what it looks like when I'm done. I got that hole drilled out. The diameter is perfect for that harness to slide through. So I'll show you guys that. This harness right here has to drop down into the cab and it fits perfectly. We'll have to get like a waterproof grommet to go up here so water doesn't leak in, but I'll do that later. I'm just worried about getting this installed and routed. But that is a good step. So I need to clean up all these shavings and then we'll pull out that wiring harness and we'll start wiring. I laid out the wiring harness to the light bar, so I'm gonna go over it with you guys. This end right here goes directly into the light bar up there, to that connector that came out of the light bar. This yellow wire here, that's not connected to anything. This is your amber DRL. You have 2 relays. One is for your DRLs and the other one is for your LEDs. You have your positive and negative for your power source. I'm gonna connect it to the battery under my seat. You have the fuse to that, and then you have the switch to turn the light bar on and off. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this routed in my machine, and then I will show you guys how I routed it. I have removed the seat to my machine. I am gonna mount the relays and power the light bar through the battery, which is under the seat here. So that's the way I'm going. I was gonna do it under the hood up there to the pulsar bar, but the wiring would look better if I run it up through here and then back down straight under the seat. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna get this hooked up and I'll show you guys how I routed it after it's all hooked up. So I'm gonna make this pretty simple for you guys. If you want the amber DRL, use the yellow wire over here and then cut the factory yellow wire out of this connector and put it away. And you'll wanna connect this wire with this solo yellow wire over here. That's how you use the amber DRLs. If you like the LED DRLs, just leave it how it is from factory. Don't touch anything, don't splice anything, and you'll have your LED DRLs. I finished routing my wiring harness. That's where it comes out of the light bar up there through the roof. I tucked that behind the lip in the roof. There's the connector. And then I ran the harness up along the top of the roof right there. It goes back on the back. It goes behind the seat belt right there. And there was some extra wiring harness down there, so I zip tied it all together and stuck it behind that little seat belt right there. Wired it down to my relays, and I mounted the relays to the back of this piece of plastic. And then it goes down under the battery where it's powered. I cut a little slit into the little plate right here, the battery cover. And this wire right here goes to the switch. So the next thing I'm gonna do is wait till nighttime, and then we'll take this light bar outside and we'll start testing it. Hopefully it's really bright.
I don't ever never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness.
I'm gonna show you guys what the amber DRLs look like during the day real quick. So let me go ahead and turn the switch on. So that's what the amber DRLs look like during the day. I love that orange, looks really good. Makes it pop out. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off, and we'll turn on the light bar itself. And I'll show you guys what that looks like during the day. Yep, it's even bright during the day. God, you can't look at that hardly. So here in a little bit, guys, I will show you guys what the light bar looks like at nighttime, and we'll test it out on some trails. And hopefully it's as bright as it looks, because good Lord, you can't even look into that. Like seriously, don't look into that, that'll blind you. All right guys, I'm gonna wait for nighttime. Looks good. Yeah. I love that amber DRL. It's so nasty. Let's turn on that LED bar. Oh yeah. Remember, I have it set for distance. Wow. Gotta get this thing out on the trail to see how she is. I need to fill it up with gas, so it is, well, it's got 1 bar now. I am gonna fill it up with gas though. Guys, it is so dark out here, you can't see a thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the high beams from the actual side-by-side. That's the high beams from the side-by-side from factory. So this is what the high beams look like with the light bar. Wow. That is insanely bright. And that, remember, I set this for distance, so that is not even showing the distance. Let me pull up a little bit. There we go. You can see all the way down that trail. So I'm going to turn off the high beams to the side-by-side from factory. So that's just the light bar. That's insanely bright. It goes all the way down the trail. Turn the high beams back on. Like I said earlier, the high beams are going to act as the short distance and the light bar is going to act as far distance. So both of them combined are freaking awesome. socket. Dude, that's incredible. To me, this is even bright, but both of them combined is insane. I love that. Off, on, off, on. That is such a big difference. And it goes really far. That's why I lifted up the light bar on the adjustment. I lifted it up going this way to help with distance. So that really is a big, big difference. Off, on, off, on. It's insane. Freaking awesome. I'm gonna back up. I'm not going in the woods at this time of the day. It's a little spooky. I'm gonna go down the driveway with the light bar on so we can see how bright it is down my driveway. So let's go. was gonna adjust the light bar down, but I think I love it where it's at. I mean, that goes all the way across my yard. And like I said, for the 10th time, the lights on the side-by-side act as the close range and the light bar is acting as the long distance. So both of them combined are amazing. Really spectacular.
Woo, that's bright, boy. Good Lord.
That is awesome. That's insane. Auxbeam didn't have to cook that hard. Imagine what one of their really wide light bars would do. This is their 22-inch light bar. Oh my God. I can't even look at that. I'm gonna go blind. That's insane. And it still goes all the way back there, and even further if that wood line wasn't there. That's insane. I love that running light. That's awesome. I know y'all can't see it super good, but you just gotta trust me, it looks awesome. I love it. Wow. Alright guys, I'm going to call it there for the night. I will pick this back up tomorrow. Anyway guys, I'm going to end the video here. Big shout out to Auxbeam for sending me the light bar. If you guys are interested in a light bar, light pods, switches, they have all kinds of lighting accessories, go to their website. I'll have that in the description below. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace.